Hello, everyone. I actually just finished my live stream and then I realized I actually missed some questions and I felt really bad. I felt a bit guilty. So, sorry about that. I've come live again to answer the rest of the question. There are a few questions that I actually missed in the last live stream. So, hopefully, you are able to see those this stream and hopefully, I'm able to answer your question. So I'll take it. The very first question was from Anjali Burman. Anjali said that she's a 19-year-old entrepreneur. She is co-founder of an application now, and she says now our application has only 890 daily active users. Our target is to get 50K active users within the next 3 to 5 months. After that, we need investment to manage our server cost. Should I apply for investment after getting our targeted users? Look, Anjali, what I would say is that if you were able to develop an application without raising any fund, actually, kudos to you that you were able to do that. Uh, so the very first thing I would like to tell you about investment is that if you go to investors with just an idea, you are very least likely to get an investment. But if you go to them with a minimum viable product, then it's a good sign. But what you have done is you only don't have a minimum viable product, but you also have a working prototype as well, and you have tested it with the customers. So I believe it's the right time to go to investors and seek investment because you really need to scale your app up, but you really need to market as well. So if you do not haven't raised any seed fund, I would definitely recommend you to raise funds for your startup now. I think it's a good time. If you have some money to bootstrap, then I would say that once you start getting revenue, and then if you seek for funding, then your valuation would be higher as well. But I suspect that you're talking about server cost, but it's not just about server cost, it's also about marketing as well. You could actually have 50,000 daily users or active users easily if you could have spent money on the marketing. But again, you don't have the money to spend on the marketing, but because you need money to develop the application, manage the application as well, and that's where investment comes in handy. So I would definitely recommend actually raising a seed fund. uh, so I also missed a question from Mohammed Saleh. So you've got few more questions coming in this live session as well. So I'll address those as well because I really feel bad if I'm not able to answer any of your question. So a question from Mohammed Saleh comes in. Saleh, again, I'm sorry I missed your question. So your question was, I'm thinking to start my hometown business, Banarsi sari and suit, but how? Please help. It's a very good one actually. So what I would recommend is that people like Banarsi sarees are famous all around the world. And it's famous in Mumbai, it's famous in Delhi as well. Now, people who live near Banaras are able to obtain those sarees. But again, if you are living in metropolitan cities, there's no way to identify whether those sarees are authentic or not. But if you develop a business where you are actually getting authentic sarees and selling them online, and selling it to people even abroad, you can actually develop a business model in there where you can actually show that the things that you are doing are pretty authentic as well. Although the challenge with any of these clothes products is that there are a lot of competitors out there. There's a lot of people who could sell at cheaper price or whatever. So do not compete at a price. Try to create a brand about Banarsi sarees. Try to give it a brand, and then market that brand by using influencers. Pay some influencers, get some influencers to wear your sarees, and those should be your sort of branded sarees. And then you could actually develop your own brand out of that, and that could be a way to sort of move forward with that thinking. Mansi, sorry, I missed your comment as well. Hello, sir. How are you? Could you please advise the best domains or career option considering COVID situation? Look, again, Mansi, I think even with COVID or without COVID, the biggest thing to identify and understand is that the job marketplace is changing so fast. The jobs that used to exist 5 years ago do not exist right now, and the only people who are able to survive are the people who can actually adapt to the changing environment. But most importantly, it's important to identify where your interest and where your passion lies, and then follow it and develop your skills in it. So I always talk about this SWOT analysis, where you look at your own strength and weaknesses, and then you look at opportunities and threats, and you try to match the two. So there's no one good career option out there. There's a plethora of nice career options out there. It's actually just about identifying what's the best subject. So King also asked, I'll come to the live questions over here as well. We've got a question from Prasad. We have a question from Savil. I'll come to the live questions over here as well. But I'm just answering some of the questions from my previous ones. So one of the questions was, why didn't you opted computer engineering over mechanical? The reason I didn't opt for computer engineering over mechanical was because I didn't have any idea moving forward what I'm going to do with my life. I didn't even know about computer engineering when I entered my bachelor's, because everyone said mechanical engineering is an evergreen branch, and all of my friends were taking admission in mechanical, so I just took admission in mechanical. So right now people are more informed. When I was there, I had no idea what to do with my career. So if check out my video on Josh Talks. So just search Josh Talks Samer Khattam. You will get to hear about my story and how lost I was about my career when I took admission in BTech itself. But if I had the opportunity, I might have taken admission in computer engineering or maybe something else. But it's a thing from the past. Solio also asks, if I learn coding through YouTube, etc., then can I get a job? And the answer is yes, definitely you can. There shouldn't be any challenge at all. Now I'll address some of the questions that I'm getting recently. So we have a question from Sabil. Hi, Amirwa. Assalamu alaikum. Islam. Is there any scope of IT recruiter in Australia? If yes, then how can I proceed with the process? So Sabil, the challenge is that with Australia, as I explained in my previous session, was that with Australia, there are only two ways to get a visa. One is you do 2 years of study and then you get a 2 years work visa, or second is you apply for permanent residence. Now you have to spend a lot of money to do 2 years of masters, and then you apply for 2 years visa, and in that 2 years of visa you can actually do some work and then apply for PR. The second thing is that human resources is not there in the skilled occupation list. Skilled occupation list is the list of the people that Australian country gives PR to, but it's in the consolidated skilled occupation list, which is CSOL. So you could apply for a state-sponsored visa like 489 or something like that. So the first approach would be to identify whether you want to do come here as on a study visa or a state-sponsored visa. Look for these, go through a point test, and then take it from there. So I've got a video on my YouTube, which is 4 steps to Australian PR. It's a 5 years old video, so it's pretty outdated, but still will give you a good idea about the process itself. So we've got Prasad over here, whose question is, hello, good evening, hope you're doing. My name is Prasad. It gives me a pleasure to share the news. I started off with an organization provide the below services. That's good, Prasad. Very well done, and all the very best. Mumtaz Ahmed, Ahmed bhai, mere liye kuch advice karo. I'm a sales professional, and what should I do to get a job in Australia or that job? So जैसे कि मैंने बताया, Mumtaz, the thing is that with Australian work culture, it's not like Dubai or US, UAE or other countries. In Australia, if you have to do work, you have to either come here via study visa or apply for permanent residence and take it from there. And unfortunately, sales is not in a skilled occupation list over there. So the only option is for you is to come for a study visa and then take it from there. Muhammad Azhar, you were my senior in STS High School. I was in 6th class when you passed out from there. You are inspiration, sir. Thank you so much, Azhar. Lots of love to anyone from Mentor Circle out there. I learned a lot from that school. The school was not the best in academics, but what I used to do was, and if you remember, I used to be like come and present in the assembly meetings in the morning. I used to conduct them. I used to actually MC them. And that confidence of going on the stage and doing things actually helped me a lot through the life. It gave me a nice pathway, gave me a nice confidence to actually exceed in my career in the future. So the reason I was able to develop my business and talk to the clients and things like that was because I participated in extracurricular activities when I was in school, and I participated in extracurricular activities when I was in college as well. So before I end my session, like this session continuation, let me quickly check if I've missed any question from anyone, because then I'll feel bad later on. How to market service in Australia, that's done. Okay, so Arshad Sheikh has asked best freelance website. I would recommend, if you are starting out, start with fiverr.com, fiverr.com. And then if you are a professional, if you have got a reputation, then you can try upwork.com, upwork.com. So Fiverr is really good for starting out, learning and doing small gigs, and Upwork is really good for doing hourly work and getting big gigs. King has asked, is there any particular exam for cracking undergraduate with scholarships? We have already answered that. Uh, Anjana Dubey has asked, Anjana, sorry, I missed your question. Really sorry about that. Anjana is from LinkedIn. She has asked, hi, sir, I have done MBA right now. I'm working as an IT recruiter, but getting less at CTC. How I can exceed and get good CTC? What should I do? So, Anjana, again, the IT recruitment is a big field. What you have to do is you have to identify your niche and identify what you are really good at. So once you are able to identify your niche, and there's a specific process to be able to identify your niche, you have to look at, okay, out of the whole process for IT recruitment, what are the things that are actually good at? What are the things that you can specialize in? And then develop your network and develop your skills from there. And also, one thing that I would highly encourage you is to develop your network on LinkedIn. Start making some videos about IT recruitment that will allow you to develop a lot of your network, and then apply for a job somewhere else. Whenever you are applying for a job, then you can actually say that I've got 30,000 followers on LinkedIn. These are 30,000 IT professionals who follow me. I've got a very nice chance of getting a lot of good candidates. And that would be your bargaining chip. So whenever you are going to a new company or bargaining for your CTC with your existing companies, you're not bargaining just on your skills, but on your network. Your network is extremely powerful. Start making some videos or posts or whatever. Try to get a big following on LinkedIn. If you've got a nice following on LinkedIn, I'm pretty sure that you will earn pretty well as an IT recruiter. Mohammed Salim from Facebook said, I'm good, you are doing good. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Sorry, I missed your message as well. Mohammed Asif Siddiqui, build your skill. That's right, build your skill, but build your skill in the thing that you are actually interested in, and that will help you a lot. I'll just check if we have missed any message. Zubair Alam sir, please कोई online course बताइए. Is my mic off? Can you hear me or not? Just let me see. Sorry. Can someone please confirm watching this? Can they hear me speaking? Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no, my mic is not off. I think Manat, your speakers are off. So you have to turn on your speakers. Okay, so I was answering questions of Zubair. Sir, please कोई online course बताइए. Zubair, depend करता है कि आपको किस field में online course चाहिए. There are so many online courses out there. The best website I can tell you is udemy.com. You can go to udemy.com and find a lot of online courses over there. So tell me the field and I'll tell you which is the best online course to do it. We have got question from, okay, we've got Mohammed Mumtaz. He said, after I've done my PGDM and PGLM from AMU, and Mumtaz Ahmad has said, Now I have 6 years of experience in sales. I want to work my careers. I want to work in Canada, Germany, Australia. So what should I do to get a job? Please advise me the better one. So I would recommend looking at Canada and Germany. I would recommend actually pursuing a master's course in there. Pursue a master course where you can get the cheapest course for less years so that you can get a work visa. The second option is to apply for a permanent residency. So just look at the permanent residency in these things. The third thing I would say is build your network. So try and build your network with the professionals in Canada via LinkedIn. Reach out to them and tell them who you are, and you would want to develop genuine connection. Once you develop genuine connection, Mumtaz, the things would be easier because then you will be able to find opportunities as well. It might take a bit of time, but it will actually help you a lot. So reach out to people on LinkedIn and build genuine connections with them, and I think it's going to really help you a lot. Soban is here. Mohammad Azhar, I've already answered. Ban Pratap, hi Banu. Mumtaz, bye, please advise me about what should I do. I think we have done. Okay, so Mumtaz is continued his question, said, "Bhai, please advise me about what should I study." So it actually depends on, again, once you have done so far. I think it really depends on where your interest lies as well, because if you have already done your masters, then I don't think you need to study further. Um because you already have a master. If you want to still study, you could do like a graduate certification or PG diploma in business management. But again, I am not a career strategist, so I cannot give you a specific career advice. What I can tell you is actually follow the people that are the ones that are in a position where you want to be. Build connection with them, identify how they did it, and then try to build your own path from there. Sankalp Gupta, I want to grow more in solar field. Can you suggest me a right path? Sankalp, as I said, I cannot, and no one, like anyone who claims that he can suggest you a right path, uh, uh, is actually lying. I cannot suggest you a right path, but I can tell you how I would have done it. So if you want to grow more in the solar field, first of all, I don't know whether you have done engineering in a particular thing, but I would start by actually going and doing some online courses in the solar field, and then picking up some freelancing projects in the field as well. And it could be online or it could be offline as well, but try to do some contract gigs in solar field, and that's the best way you can actually gain experience in that particular field. Again, I don't know what particular things about solar field excite you the most, so I cannot give you a specific advice. But I can tell you is you can start by doing some simple online courses, gaining more knowledge, networking with the people in this field, and then doing smaller gigs, even if they don't pay you, but to gain your experience, and that would actually help you a lot. Dipen saying, "Hi Amir, is there any future in data science or data engineer in Australia?" Absolutely, there is. Absolutely, no doubt. Dipendra, data science or data engineering has got future in US, Canada, UK, Australia, all around the world. The world is producing more and more data, and we do not have enough people who could actually visualize those data or identify things out of those data. So there is definitely a huge scope for this field in there. What I would recommend you to do is, because you're from a technical field, you can actually do two things. You could apply for a master's and sort of come over here. That will give you a 2 years visa. Or what you could do is you could apply for permanent residency directly and go through the process. And then once you get the permanent residency, it's easier to get jobs in Australia. If you are sitting in India and trying to apply for jobs in Australia without a visa, it's pretty difficult. It doesn't happen like that in Australia, because 457 visa that allowed companies to invite people or give visa has been slashed. It's very difficult, so companies don't do it. Companies would employ someone who's already here and who has got working visa. Mohammad Talha Savar, "Hi Amir, I'm a professional expo and conference organizer." Oh, excellent. what are the scope for starting a venture from Australia, or job opportunities in event service industry? That's a good one. That's an exciting one actually. Professional expo and conference organizer. So Tala, first thing that you would need to ask is, how is your career be influenced by what's happening in the world due to COVID? Because COVID is not something that's temporary; it's going to go for a long time, and the countries have been impacted by this. So, for example, if I'm here in Melbourne, a lot of conferences and events have been cancelled. So I think what you should be focusing is actually developing your specializations in online conferences and online expos and things like that as well. uh, there is definitely a scope for starting a venture from Australia, but Australia is a small market. Population of Australia is what, 23 million, around 30 million. It's smaller than the population of New Delhi, so the amount of events and conferences that happen over here are smaller. What I would probably do is I would start a business in a place like Singapore or Malaysia, which is like a hub for conferences, and then expand this business in the APAC region, which is like Asia Pacific region. So have a branch in Australia, have a branch in all the Asian countries, a branch in Hong Kong, and then organize those sort of cross country conferences, because that has got a huge scope. So I hope I helped your answer. I hope I answered your question. We've got Zubair, which says, good evening. Good evening, Zubair. Bhanu Pratap, how to utilize 4 years of BTech college? That's a very good question, Bhanu. So how not to utilize 4 years of BTech college? Don't spend a lot of time just spend like sitting in the class and studying. What you need to do in the 4 years of the college is, first of all, you need to enjoy yourself a lot, make some friends, create a new good network, participate in extracurricular activities, and try to identify your niche. And that you do that by following your interests, following your passions, and then learning new skills. So if you have 4 years, then, or even if you have 2 years or 3 years, you can actually learn a lot of skills during those years of 4 years. And also, it's not only about learning. Start doing some freelancing works. Start doing some gigs on Fiverr or Upwork, or some contract work. Because if you graduate from BTech with specialization in one particular field or in one particular niche, and you have a bit of work experience, then you would stand out from all other people that are actually out there who have spent a lot of time in studying and getting 80%, 90%. You will be the one who will actually get placements pretty easily as well. Zubair Alam sir, please online course bataiye. The next one is, sorry, I have actually missed this one. Okay, all right, Vaibhav सर, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग के बाद कोई सॉफ्टवेयर में काम कर सकता है क्या? अगर सॉफ्टवेयर में इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा हो तो कैसे करियर चूज करें? सो आई एम गोइंग टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन इन हिंदी बिकॉज दिस क्वेश्चन इज बीन आस्क्ड इन हिंदी. सो वैभव, मैं मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर था. मैंने मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग करी थी, और फिर उसके बाद मेरा TCS में प्लेसमेंट हुआ, जो कि एक सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी है. लेकिन मुझे ये था कि नहीं, मैकेनिकल करी तो मैकेनिकल में किया जाए, तो मैंने ऑफ कैंपस प्लेसमेंट के लिए अप्लाई किया और मेरा होंडा कार्स में प्लेसमेंट हो गया. जब मेरा होंडा कार्स में प्लेसमेंट हो गया, मैंने 1 साल काम किया, लेकिन मुझे उसमें बिल्कुल मज़ा नहीं आया. और मुझे हमेशा से टेक्नोलॉजी में इंटरेस्ट था, तो मैंने उसके स्किल्स लर्न किए थे, बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स किए थे, और मैंने फिर फाइनली कंप्यूटर में शिफ्ट हो गए. तो बहुत सिंपल है, इट डजेंट मैटर आप किसी भी ब्रांच में हो, मैकेनिकल में हो, इलेक्ट्रिकल में हो, डजेंट मैटर. व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज कि आपको जिस चीज़ में भी इंटरेस्ट है, अगर आपको डांसिंग में इंटरेस्ट है, म्यूजिक में इंटरेस्ट है, कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग में इंटरेस्ट है, you can learn those skills by online courses. But most importantly, आप उन skills को learn कर सकते हो by doing some work, finding proper work. आप छोटे प्रोजेक्ट से शुरू करो जो आप खुद के लिए करो, फिर उसके बाद आप fiverr.com पे एक प्रोफाइल बनाओ, और आप बेसिक वर्क जो है उस पर में करना स्टार्ट कर दो. धीरे धीरे आपका स्किल बन जाएगा, आपका एक्सपीरियंस बन जाएगा. और जब कंपनीज प्लेस करने के लिए आएंगी, तो वो उन कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स को नहीं लेंगी. मुझे TCS ने क्यों लिया और मुझे बहुत सारी IT कंपनी ने जॉब क्यों ऑफर करी? क्योंकि मैं मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग का स्टूडेंट था, और मैंने अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए एक सोशल नेटवर्क बनाया था, जो बाकी कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग के स्टूडेंट्स थे उन्होंने नहीं बनाया था ना. उनके मार्क्स बहुत अच्छे थे, उनकी कोडिंग की नॉलेज बहुत अच्छी थी, बट मैंने अपनी नॉलेज को इम्प्लीमेंट किया था, और जिससे मुझे फ़ायदा हुआ. तो अगर आप स्किल्स हासिल कर रहे हो और सबसे बड़ी बात उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हो, तो आपका जो है वो करियर आगे जो है वो बहुत सक्सेसफुल होगा. Mumtaz bhai, inshallah brother, thank you so much. Tabish Afuddin, legal opportunity in Australia. Tabish, lawyers actually earn a lot in Australia. But the thing is that as an Indian lawyer, you are not entitled to practice law over here. So you have to come over here, do a course, apply for bar, do an internship. It's a long journey, and then you can uh, work over here. You cannot just come from India and start working as a lawyer in Australia. It doesn't work like that. It works like that in Dubai, UAE, in Gulf countries. But in Australia, to practice law, you actually have to come over here and do it. But the other thing that you can do is you can work as a paralegal for an Australian company that is actually outsourcing a lot of legal work to India. I hope I answered that question. Web of सॉफ्टवेयर में बड़े लेवल, आई डोंट नो क्या क्वेश्चन है. सर एमबीए नेसेसरी है क्या अगर कुछ बड़ा करना हो तो, लाइक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप? भाई बिल्कुल जरूरी नहीं है. एमबीए बहुत बकवास कोर्स है अगर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप करनी है तो. अगर आप किसी कंपनी में सीनियर पोजीशन पे हैं और आपको मैनेजमेंट लेवल पे शिफ्ट होना है, उसके लिए आपको सीखना है तो एमबीए अच्छा कोर्स है. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए एमबीए की घंटा कोई जरूरत नहीं है, कोई भी जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि एमबीए में सिखाते हैं कि जो स्टैब्लिश्ड कंपनीज हैं उन्हें कैसे चलाना है. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में आप स्टैब्लिश्ड कंपनी नहीं चलाते हो, आपको एक नई कंपनी स्टार्ट करनी होती है और एमबीए नहीं बताता है. इवन जो एमबीए एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप वाले कोर्सेज होते हैं वो भी बकवास होते हैं. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप सीखने का एक ही तरीका है, वो है कि वो आप करके ही सीख सकते हो. सो देयर इज ओनली वन एंड ओनली वन वे टू लर्न एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, दैट इज बाय डूइंग, एंड दैट्स इट. उपेंद्र सर, लैंग्वेज हिंदी प्लीज. हम इंडिया वाले हैं. अरे सर बिल्कुल, हम भी इंडिया वाले हैं. आप हिंदी में सवाल पूछे, हम हिंदी में जवाब देंगे. कुछ लोग एक्चुअली इंग्लिश में सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, और हो सकता है कुछ लोग साउथ से हों जिनको हिंदी नहीं आती, वैसे मुझे इंग्लिश में भी जो है वो जवाब दे रहा हूँ. बट आप जिसमें मुझसे सवाल पूछेंगे मैं उसी भाषा में आपको जवाब दूंगा. फिरोज खान, आई एम प्लानिंग टू डू एमबीए अब्रॉड. विल यू सजेस्ट मी अ good B school and have interest in entrepreneurship to suggest me a good specialization in MBA? Okay, Firoz, the first of the question is, why do you want to do an MBA and why do you want to do it abroad, right? मतलब क्यों? ठीक है, जब मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया आया, when I came to Australia to do my MBA, the very first day, the person who picked me up from the airport in a taxi, he asked me, okay, which university are you like? He asked me, are you a student? I said, yes, I'm just joining. He asked me, which university do you want to go to? And I said, Deakin University. And he said, wow, I also studied in Deakin University. He was an Indian. And then the second question, he asked me, which course? I said, MBA. And he said, wow, I also did an MBA. And I got really discouraged. And then I suffered in my 1.5 years of MBA because that didn't teach me anything. But what I was able to achieve was due to my own efforts and due to the network that I built myself. So I would never encourage anyone to do an MBA, especially when you do not have a lot of experience, and especially from a university in MBA, like university in Australia. Any good university requires you to have 3 to 5 years of experience. So Firoz, if you have got 3 to 5 years of experience, then definitely go for an MBA. But think about which specific field of MBA do you want to go for, because it will answer the question in terms of which B school to choose as well. But also depends on which B school would take you as well. Like how much experience do you have? And some of the B schools need a GMAT score as well. What is your previous experience been? And then take it from there. So what I can tell you is that doing an MBA without a lot of experience is not a wise choice, because you will not get a job after that unless you are doing it from an Ivy B school. Like unless you are doing it from Harvard or any big business school, or in India like IIMs or things like that. Secondly, if you have got a business experience, if you have worked in industry for 3 years, even if you are doing an MBA from a middle tier B school, then you will get job placement because you would have an existing experience, and that's pretty important. I hope I answered your question. Deepen, thanks for your advice. Thank you so much. You are most welcome. Aman Khan, hi, I'm Aman, did my MBA from AMU and working in healthcare technology. I'm extremely curious to know about your organization. Aman, that's great that you're working in healthcare technology, because I actually give an example to a lot of people who are studying technology and then have passion for things like health or sports. I talk to them about hybrid careers and how you can actually develop a career in something like hybrid technology. I would probably love to have you on my live session, my podcast at some stage as well. So first of all, well done on choosing a career in a hybrid field, a niche which is healthcare technology. So my organization, I actually run 3 or 4 businesses. My main business is Enterprise Monkey, where we work with large organizations and governments to actually develop innovative solutions to solve their problems. So we recently worked with Australian government to develop an application called Angel Next Door that would allow people in lockdown to communicate with each other and ask for help, because people could not go out. Government didn't have the capacity to help each and everyone. So we created an app where people could seek assistance. They could say, hey, I need a grocery or whatever. I'm 90 years old. I cannot go out due to health condition. Can someone leave a bit of grocery at my door or pick up some prescriptions? So this is the type of stuff that we do. So we actually solve business problems and government problems by innovative solutions. That could be an augmented reality, virtual reality, that could be an Internet of Things. We do a lot of work in healthcare technology. We recently are working on a government project about virtual ICUs, where we are actually taking patients out of the hospitals and putting them in their home with a virtual ICU unit set up with them. So I hope I answered your question, but I'll be in touch with you to actually have you on my podcast at some stage, because I would love to know a bit more about your career. Subi Niazi, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. Sankal Gupta, I've done electrical engineering from AMU in 2019 and developed interest in solar designing field. After that, I'm working solar design industry. How can you say if there is any opportunity in Australia for that? How can I get it? There is actually a lot of opportunity in solar designing in Australia, because a lot of houses are actually shifting to solar energy, and even all the new houses are built, they need to be energy efficient, so they need to actually have a solar energy requirement. The challenge is getting a job. But what you could probably do is you could apply. There are 2 ways. One way is to go for a master's course. That's when you get 2 years work visa. Or second is actually apply for a permanent residency. Once you have PR, you can easily come over here and get a job. The third way is to actually develop a network by reaching out to people in Australia who are in this field and connecting with them. Go to my profile. If you find someone who's in solar engineering or solar designing, I'm happy to introduce you. Or if someone in your network knows someone over there, just ask them for an introduction, reach out to them, build genuine connections with people on LinkedIn, and it's going to help you a lot, Sankalp. वैभव, सर फॉरेन कंट्री में जॉब पाने के लिए क्या क्या ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा, और बी मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट एमटेक वर्सेस एमबीए व्हिच हैज मोर चांस टू गेट अ जॉब अब्रॉड. सो वैभव, मैंने इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर बहुत बार किया, एक वीडियो भी है, व्हाट टू डू आफ्टर बीटेक, एमटेक या एमबीए. द आंसर इज नथिंग, बिकॉज व्हाट इज गुड आफ्टर बीटेक इज do a job or like start something of your own, get some experience before you do MTech और MBA, बिकॉज सिर्फ हिंदुस्तान ही ऐसी कंट्री है जहाँ पे ये मास्टर्स की वैल्यू कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में होती है. मैंने तो, और आई डोंट थिंक हिंदुस्तान में भी ज़्यादा होती होगी, एकेडमिक्स में ऑफकोर्स है. आई हैव नेवर सीन, और मैंने कोई ऐसा बंदा नहीं देखा वैभव, मतलब ऐसी कंपनी नहीं देखी ऑस्ट्रेलिया में या यूएस में या यूके में जो ये मांगती हो कि मुझे इस फील्ड में जो है मास्टर्स का जो है कोई स्टूडेंट चाहिए. उनको चाहिए होता है बंदा जिसके पास एक्सपीरियंस हो और स्किल्स हो. आपकी डिग्री मैटर नहीं करती अगर आपके पास स्किल्स जो है वो करेक्ट हो. अमेजिंग लाइफ का क्वेश्चन है, माय क्वेश्चन इज हाउ टू फाइंड पैशन टैलेंट इजीली. Is your question about how to find passionate people easily for your company, or is it about how to find your passion and talent easily? Basically क्या है, it's a very simple process, I would tell you, Amazing Life. So the way it works is that first of all you identify कि आपका interest किस field में. Once you have identified कि मेरा interest इस particular field में, वहाँ से आप जो है उस फील्ड को लर्न करना शुरू करो, वहां से आप स्किल्स डेवलप करना शुरू करो। और हो सकता है फिर आपको थोड़ी देर बाद पता चले कि नहीं, इस फील्ड में मुझे ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, फिर आप नेक्स्ट फील्ड में ट्राई करो। जब आप ट्राई करते रहते हो तो देन यू फाइंड अ फील्ड दैट यू रियली एंजॉय वर्किंग इन, उसमें आपके स्किल्स भी डेवलप हो जाते हैं, वहां से आपका पैशन डेवलप होना शुरू होता है। जब आप अपने पैशन को फॉलो कर रहे होते हो तो फिर आप उसमें ये नहीं देखते हो कि दिन है या रात है, भूख लगी है या सोना है या कुछ भी, यू आर जस्ट डूइंग इट बिकॉज यू लव इट। और जब आप करते हो उसमें आप रिपीटेडली टाइम देते हो तो आपका टैलेंट जो है वो निकल के आ जाता है। तो आई डोंट बिलीव कि कोई चीज नेचुरल टैलेंट करके कोई चीज होती है। लोग कहते हैं होता है, अरे वो तो नेचुरल टैलेंट है। आई बिलीव कि कितना भी नेचुरल टैलेंट हो, इंसान को किसी पर्टिकुलर फील्ड के बारे में पैशनेट होना पड़ता है और उसमें एक अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम देना होता है। और वो टाइम अगर आप उस फील्ड के बारे में पैशनेट हो आप दे नहीं सकते, क्योंकि आप अपनी 100% एनर्जी नहीं दे सकते। तो विराट कोहली, हो सकता है उसके अंदर कोई जीन्स हो, लेकिन उसके पापा तो जो है वो इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम के कैप्टन नहीं थे ना, ना उसका बेटा इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम का कैप्टन हो, इसकी कोई गारंटी है। तो इट्स नॉट कि ऐसा नहीं कि बॉर्न टैलेंट था, उसको पैशन था क्रिकेट में। ही प्लेड अ लॉट, और उसने खेलने के चक्कर में सब कुछ छोड़ दिया एंड ही डेवलप्ड हिज टैलेंट फ्रॉम देयर। So interest comes first, then you learn some skills, then your passion develops, and once your passion develops in something, जब आप उसमें काम करते रहते हो तो आपका टैलेंट डेवलप होके आ जाता है। That's a very simple process. Harshvardhan, is it necessary to be a techie guy to reach your level? No, bro, at all. I am not techie at all as well. That's the thing. हर्षवर्धन, अगर आप मुझे एक कोडिंग का जो है एक पेज लिखने को बोल दो, आई कैन नॉट डू इट, बिकॉज मुझे सर्च करना पड़ेगा, गूगल पे सर्च करना पड़ेगा, देन आई विल बी एबल टू डू इट। यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई कि आपके पास क्या स्किल है, व्हाट इज दैट थिंग दैट यू हैव गॉट इनसाइड योरसेल्फ, व्हाट इज द थिंग दैट यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन। अगर आप एग्रीकल्चर में इंटरेस्टेड हो, एग्रीकल्चर करो, स्पोर्ट्स में इंटरेस्टेड हो, स्पोर्ट्स में जाओ, वट एवर फील्ड यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन इट, जस्ट परस्यू इट। आपका टैलेंट अपने आप उसमें डेवलप हो जाएगा और आप एक बहुत अच्छे लेवल पे जो है वो पहुंच जाओगे उसी फील्ड में एक्सेल करते करते। सो इट्स डेफिनेटली यू डोंट नीड टू बी अ टेकी एट ऑल। मैं इस वजह से सक्सेसफुल हो पाया कि मुझे टेक्नोलॉजी में जेन्युइनली मजा आता था, लेकिन सिर्फ टेक्निकल होने से भी कुछ नहीं होता, कि टेक्निकल हो तो आप डेवलपर बन के बहुत अच्छे डेवलपर बन जाओगे। मुझे बिजनेस में मजा आता है, मुझे लोगों से बात करने में मजा आता है, मुझे बिजनेस स्ट्रैटेजीज बनाने में मजा आता है। तो मेरा पैशन जो है वो बिजनेस स्ट्रैटेजीज की तरफ ज्यादा है और बिजनेस बिल्ड करने की तरफ ज्यादा है। इस वजह से मैं सक्सेसफुल बिजनेसेस बिल्ड कर पाया। अगर मेरा पैशन सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी की तरफ होता तो मैं एक बहुत अच्छा कोडर होता, ऑफकोर्स मैं अपनी लाइफ में बहुत सक्सेसफुल होता उस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में, लेकिन इस फील्ड में सक्सेसफुल ना होता। तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन कि आपका आपका पैशन इंटरेस्ट किस फील्ड में, आप उस फील्ड में अपना करियर डेवलप करिए। और कोडिंग और डेवलपमेंट कोई इतनी लिक्रेटिव फील्ड नहीं है, या फिर लोग बोलते हैं अरे इंस्टाग्राम इन्फ्लुएंसर बन जाओ या सोशल मीडिया पे आ जाओ या ये सारी चीजें, वी हियर अ लॉट ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, इनका कोई मतलब नहीं है। फॉलो व्हाट यू आर जेन्युइनली इंटरेस्टेड इन। Okay, sorry, we have got lots of questions, but I have to stop at some stage, so I'll answer 5 questions that are there. I think there are more than 5 questions, but I'll just answer them in shortly. So, what to do if life gives a stoppage? Life stoppage नहीं देती है, Harsh. Life doesn't give you a stoppage. What to do? The second question that he asked is what to do when you are confused. What to do when you are confused is just keep moving forward. That's it. Like you would feel that there's a lot of haze, you don't know where to go. If you keep standing, you will be still standing for the next 10 years. Move forward. What would happen? You will find a brick wall. You will identify, okay, this was the wrong path. You will take a pivot turn and keep moving forward. So when life gives a stoppage, it's just giving you a feedback. It's just telling you that you are not walking in the right direction. You started a business, you applied for a job, you didn't get the job, right? It gave you a feedback. Maybe you did not apply properly. Maybe your CV was not good. Maybe what you said in an interview was not good. Maybe that job is not for you. All right, start looking at all of those 4 reasons, start solving them one by one, and then you will be able to find your dream job. Similarly, if you're starting a business, maybe you thought about the product, you think it would work, you took it out to the market, it might fail, but rather than thinking about it failed, oh my god, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, what will I do, you need to think about is why did it fail? Was the problem with technology? Was the problem with the product itself? Was the problem with market? Was I positioning it correctly? Was I marketing it properly? Was it the sales problem? So look at what were the challenges, what were the root causes, of the failure, and then try correcting them one by one, and then you will be able to really become successful in whatever you are doing. LinkedIn user, can you tell PhD opportunity in management in Australia? There is actually some nice opportunities in management in Australia. The way PhD works in Australia is that it's not about applying to universities and getting opportunities. What you have to do is you have to do a bit of Google search for all universities, find the professors who are actually offering PhDs, or like most of the professors would offer PhD. Look at their previous research topics and then pitch to them and say, hey, I'm this from India, I have done my master's in this, my final year thesis was in this particular field, I'm passionate about this field, I see you have done some work in these fields, I propose that I do a PhD with you in these fields. However, and you have to list the field rather than saying any field, you have to come up with the topics and then say, however, I am happy to consider your suggestions, and then just reach out to them, give them send them an email, give them a call, reach out to them on LinkedIn, and then that's how you land a PhD opportunity in management in Australia. You get a nice stipend, $25,000 for an year as well, and you get a nice scholarship as well. So you can definitely try for a PhD in management in Australia. Bhanu Pratap, very thank you, sir, for your suggestion. You are most welcome. Muhammad Azhar, sir, I did my MBA and now looking for a job and I want to go in human resource domain. So is there any scope in Australia, US, or Canada? I mean, after getting some work experience, I want to apply there. So should I have to apply? Can you tell me the procedure? Thank you. Okay. So with human resources, again, what I would encourage you to do is to find a niche there. Again, HR and finance is pretty broad. So you need to really identify, okay, what is that particular niche in human resource that I want to go after? The second thing is that the human resource is not in skilled occupation list in Australia, which means you cannot apply for a permanent residency. You can, I'm not sure about US or Canada. So it's very difficult to actually find a job as a human resource professional come from like sitting in India in Australia. It might be different in US or Canada. What I can't tell you exactly what to do, but what I can tell you is how to pursue it or approach it is actually connect with the recruiters in Australia, in Canada and US on LinkedIn, and develop genuine connection with them and develop a network. And if you're developing a network after a few years of experience, and don't ask for anything right now, just offer them something, just offer them some insight, some help and things like that, and develop that, nurture that connection for 2 years until you develop a nice, good, genuine friendship with those people, and then ask for the favor, and then ask that I want to move to Australia or US or UK, wherever you are. Can you help me? Can you introduce me to some of the companies? And they would be happy to do so. So right now, go to my LinkedIn profile if you want to be introduced to an HR professional. And if you promise me that you will not ask for the job straight away or for the next 2 years, I'm happy to do a warm introduction myself as well. But you have to take the first step. You actually have to reach out and connect with them. Bhanu, I've got, which is the best to take a placement or a startup? I would say, Bhanu, take a placement. First of all, take a placement, have a secure job, and then you can always do a startup on the side. Like, you don't need to leave everything and go into the startup. Always have this as a career option. Take a placement, and then on the side, even if you are doing a job, you are only spending 8 hours in the job. You still have 16 hours, right? And if you want to achieve something, you should be willing to sacrifice a bit of friendship, a bit of sleep for it. And if you have got 16 hours, you sleep for 6 hours, you still have 10 hours. Spend 10 hours in developing your startup, or spend 8 hours in developing your startup. Vaibhav, thank you so much. You are most welcome, Vaibhav. Harshvardhan, recommend me a software for my retail stores. Harsh, actually go to amirkutub.com and join the academy over there. There you would be able to find a lot of resources that are there. We actually have got some of the software developers for the retail stores in there as well. So you can actually find it there. You just have to go to amirkutub.com and join the academy, and you will be able to find those over there. Harshvardhan, what is your age? My age is 31 now. So I was born in 1989. So yeah, 31. Amir Rashid, which things need to focus prior of starting business? Amir, the very first thing is to develop a business model canvas and answer 5 questions. What problem are you solving? Who are your customers? Uh, who are your competitors? How are you better than your competitors? And what is your business model? How are you going to make money? Go to amirkutub.com, download the business model canvas from there. Go to resources, you can download the business model canvas from there, and then fill in that business model canvas. Once you fill in that business model canvas, you will feel more confident about everything that you have thought about, each and everything, and then you can take it from there easily. Harshvardhan, easiest way to make money online. I can tell you the hardest way to make money online, but a sure shot way of making money online. Can't tell you an easiest way to make money online. You can't make money easily. Like if people say, what is the easiest way to make money online? Actually, there's no easy way. There are no shortcuts in life. There's no easy way to make money online. If someone is telling you this is an easy way to make money online or offline, whatever, if it was easy, then that person wouldn't have been telling you this. That person would have actually बी डूइंग दैट. तो मैं आपको हिंदी में बोलता हूँ, कई लोग आपसे बोलते हैं कि ये ऑनलाइन पैसा कमाने का बहुत इजी तरीका है, लेकिन अगर ये इतना ही इजी तरीका होता तो वो लोग आपको बता नहीं रहे होते, वो लोग बस बैठ के पैसा कमा रहे होते. ऐसा नहीं है. पैसा कमाने का कोई भी इजी तरीका नहीं है. पैसे कमाने के मुश्किल तरीके हैं, लेकिन शॉर्ट तरीके हैं जो मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ. और उनमें से एक तरीका है फ्रीलांसिंग, जिसमें आप अपने स्किल्स को यूज करते हो और सर्विसेज को प्रोवाइड करते हो. मैंने वेबसाइट्स बताई, fiverr.com, freelancer.com, upwork.com, उस पर आप रजिस्टर कर सकते हो. थोड़ा टाइम लगता है, 2 महीने 3 महीने लगेंगे, जिसमें आपके पास कोई वर्क नहीं आएगा, बट धीरे धीरे अपनी प्रोफाइल बिल्ड करोगे, उससे आप लाइफ लॉन्ग जो है फ्रीलांसिंग कर सकते हो. मतलब मैं ऐसे लोगों को जानता हूँ जिन्होंने लास्ट ईयर स्टार्ट किया था, वो 2-2 लाख रुपए पर मंथ जो है फ्रीलांसिंग से कमा रहे हैं. कुछ लोग जानता हूँ जो 10 लाख रुपए पर मंथ कमा रहे हैं. कुछ लोग जो है वो 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 भी कमा रहे हैं. So there are people at different levels based on their passion, skills, and capabilities. But freelancing is a nice, genuine. It's not an easy way. It's a difficult way, but it's a sure shot way of making money online. ट्रैवल 24 सर, मेरा बीटेक मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग हुआ है. अगर 6.67 मंथ कोर्स करने के बाद ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जॉब मिलेगी क्या, और वर्क परमिट? बीटेक मैकेनिकल अगर आपका हो गया है, जब आपका कंप्लीट होगा तो आप क्या करिएगा कि आप परमानेंट रेसिडेंसी के लिए अप्लाई करिएगा. मेरी एक वीडियो है, हाउ टू अप्लाई फॉर पीआर इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, 4 स्टेप्स टू अप्लाई. आप परमानेंट रेसिडेंसी के लिए अप्लाई करिएगा, बिकॉज परमानेंट रेसिडेंसी के बिना आपको वर्क परमिट नहीं मिलेगा. परमानेंट रेसिडेंसी का एक तरीका है, उस तरीके को आप फॉलो करिए. 1-1.5 साल लगेगा आपको पीआर मिलने में. अगर आपको पीआर मिल जाता है तो आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया आ सकते हो और यहाँ पे जॉब अप्लाई कर सकते हो. दूसरा तरीका है कि आप यहाँ पे मास्टर्स करने आओ और फिर उसके बाद 2 साल जो है आपको वर्क वीजा मिलता है. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि उस वर्क वीजा पे भी कोई श्योरिटी नहीं होती कि आपको जॉब मिलेगी या नहीं मिलेगी. यू डोंट नो, बिकॉज बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जो यहाँ पे आते हैं, ऑड जॉब्स करते हैं, 2 साल फ्रस्ट्रेट होके वापस चले जाते हैं. कुछ लोग हैं जो टिकते हैं और सर्वाइव कर पाते हैं. Nitish sir, can you suggest me a platform for drag and drop app development? I think Nitish, I suggested it to you earlier. Go to amirkutub.com, register in the academy. Just put that question over there. I'll give you the list of a nice one over there. Or there are a lot of community members over there that will be able to actually help you with that. So I would really encourage you to register on Amir Kutub Academy. It's free. Go there. It's like a social network. If you put that question over there, my team will come back to you with a nice list. वैभव, आपका जो स्टॉक का वीडियो देखा, इट्स वेरी इंस्पिरेशनल. आपकी स्टोरी इंस्पिरेशनल है. थैंक यू सो मच भाई. मैं भी आप लोग की तरह था. 5 साल पहले मैं भी सोच रहा था क्या करना है लाइफ में. यही सारे क्वेश्चन मेरे थे. उस वक्त कोई गाइड करने वाला नहीं था, तो थोड़ा टाइम लगा फिगर आउट करने में. और इसी वजह से मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं ये सेशंस आप लोगों के साथ करूं, ताकि मैं अपने कुछ स्टोरीज और अपॉर्चुनिटीज जो है वो आप लोगों के साथ शेयर कर सकूं और आपके कुछ क्वेश्चंस का जो है वो आंसर कर सकूं. मोहम्मद लुकमान, ग्रेट, थैंक यू सो मच. मैं कुछ बस 1-2 क्वेश्चन आंसर करूंगा, फिर इसके बाद मैं आपसे अलविदा लूंगा. प्लीज मुझे कमेंट्स में बताएं कि आपको सेशन कैसा लगा. जेन्युइन फीडबैक दें कि आपको सेशन कैसा लगा. मैं आप सब लोगों से सुनना चाहूंगा, और जो भी दिल विल लाइक्स वाइक्स थोड़ा सा दें. जितने लोगों से शेयर कर सकते हैं शेयर करें. अगर आप जिस प्लेटफॉर्म पे भी सुन रहे हैं, मैं सारे प्लेटफॉर्म से अवेलेबल हूँ. इंस्टाग्राम, यूट्यूब, लिंक्डइन, फेसबुक, पे पेज है और ट्विटर, आप प्लीज मुझे फॉलो करें, सब पे मैं अलग अलग कंटेंट जो है पोस्ट करता हूँ। और आमिर कुतुब एकेडमी पे जो कि मेरी वेबसाइट है amirkutub.com, उस पर मैं बहुत सारी फ्री रिसोर्सेज जो है वो आपके लिए देता हूँ। तो amirkutub.com पे मेरी एकेडमी जो है वो डेफिनेटली ज्वाइन करें, इट्स फ्री, कंप्लीटली फ्री, आपको कुछ पे नहीं करना है कभी। भानु का क्वेश्चन, आई एम गोइंग टू बीटेक कॉलेज दिस सेशन, आई वांट टू आस्क इफ आई मेक पर्टिकुलर गोल्स। भानु आपके क्वेश्चंस में सॉरी बाद में आंसर करूंगा, चलिए मैं कर देता हूँ। इफ आई मेक पर्टिकुलर गोल्स पर सेमेस्टर फॉर माय स्टार्टअप, इज दिस राइट स्ट्रेटजी? हाँ भानु, मतलब आप स्टार्ट करो, एक्सप्लोर करना स्टार्ट करो, और फिर उसके बाद ये मत सोचो कि मैं थर्ड ईयर में आऊंगा तो करूंगा। आप तो अभी से सीखना स्टार्ट कर दो, जिस भी फील्ड में आपको इंटरेस्ट है, और फिर सर ट्राई करना स्टार्ट कर दो। आपकी पढ़ाई साइड में चलती रहेगी, उसको चलने दो, लेकिन जो भी आपको सीखना है वो खुद सीखना है, आपको कॉलेज कुछ नहीं सिखा पाएगा। 4 साल गुजर जाएंगे, आपको लगेगा अरे यार कुछ सीखा ही नहीं। तो आपको जो सीखना है वो खुद सीखना है, अभी से सीखना स्टार्ट कर दो, ट्राई करना स्टार्ट कर दो, एज सिंपल एज दैट। संकल्प गुप्ता, थैंक्स सर। निपुण शर्मा, इज कोडिंग इज नेसेसरी फॉर इंजीनियर टू गेट प्लेस? नॉट एट ऑल ब्रो, इवन मेरे तो काफी जानने वाले थे, देयर वर लॉट ऑफ पीपल in my mechanical engineering that got placed in TCS and Accenture just because of their analytical and problem solving skills. So you've got nice analytical and problem solving skills, and if you can demonstrate that through your extracurricular activities and projects, you can actually get good placement anywhere. Manish Mehta, hello, just watch your Just Talk video. Thank you so much, Manish. I hope you liked it. Aman Khan, working in. Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't get your comment. वैभव, सर आपको ज्यादा पैशनेट कौन सा पार्ट लगता है बिजनेस का, लाइक मार्केटिंग, फाइनेंस, ऑपरेशन और एचआर, आपको कौन सा ज्यादा फेवरेट है और व्हाई? मेरा पार्ट वो लगता है जिसमें मुझे कोई काम नहीं करना होता, मैं बैठ के स्ट्रैटेजीज बनाता हूँ, व्हाइट बोर्ड पे मैं देखता हूँ कि क्या बिजनेस प्लान बनाता हूँ, फिर उसके लिए मैं अपनी टीम सेटअप करता हूँ, ऑटोमेशन सेटअप करता हूँ, ताकि मैं दुनिया में कहीं पे भी हूँ आराम से अपने मोबाइल से देख सकूँ कि क्या चल रहा है मेरे बिजनेस में और पैसा काउंट कर सकूँ। दैट्स माय फेवरेट पार्ट। Anurag Preetham Sahu, hey Amir, I'm electrical engineer, but most of the company hiring are IT company. How to tackle the situation? So first of all, Anurag, we have to identify if you are interested in IT or not. If you are interested in IT, you can go for an IT placement. But if you are not interested in IT, then actually you should look for jobs in electrical engineering. What happens is that if I was in mechanical engineering and a lot of good companies came to my college, so I got placed in TCS. But I wanted to try a career in my own field. So as soon as I graduated, I was in Aligarh. I moved to New Delhi and started applying for jobs rigorously in my field for 3 months. And I was like again, taking one bus after another, going from one interview to another. And I just kept on applying for jobs. I reached out to people on LinkedIn, reached out to HRs, tried to get their like phone numbers and just emailed my CV. And then what I started doing was I started like going to the offices and just started dropping my CVs. And one day someone from Honda called me and said there's a vacancy, but mostly IITians and NIITians are there and do not have the percentage. So would you still like to come for an interview? I said yes. I went there, had 3 rounds of interview. I was not very good with mechanical engineering, but I was able to clear my interview just because of my willingness, and I was able to demonstrate that I've got those problem solving skills that I learned during my engineering. So that's okay if you're not getting a lot of companies on campus. Start trying off campus because there are a lot of jobs out there. Trust me. The second thing that you should look at, Anurag, is a hybrid career option. I've got a specific video on this about what to do, how to choose the best career option after graduation. And this is where I talk about hybrid careers. Hybrid careers is somewhere where you take your course and take your interest and mix both of them, and you develop your own niche, and that has got a lot of requirements as well. Shawez Alam, so what can I do as a science student? You can do whatever you like, Shawez, as a science student. But you need to think about, okay, you are a science student. What are the things that you are interested in? Are you interested in sports? Go to sports science. If you're interested in health, go to health science. If you're interested in work management, go to management science, go to economics. So you need to identify, okay, what your skills are, and what your course is, and just mix both of them. I've, again, as I was mentioning recently, have got a specific video on this. Watch that, and it will give you a nice idea. Very simple. Just do a Google search with your interest and science mix, and you will find a new career option. Develop your own niche. Maruti, hello sir. How do I learn Android development? Which languages should I learn? Android development is done mainly in Java. I would recommend, rather than learning Android development, to learn hybrid app development. So either learn Flutter, which is a language by Google, or learn Ionic is a bit old, but learn React Native. So hybrid technology is something that allows you to develop an app both for Android and iOS, and that has got a huge demand. So learn that. Get a course on Udemy and learn from that, or just learn on YouTube. You will find a lot of things over there. But most importantly, it's not about learning. It's about actually taking it, the learning, and implementing it. Start developing a small project on that as well. Ahmed Rashid, thank you. You're most welcome. Harshvardhan Gazab Energy Bro, thank you so much. Akram Tariq Khan, I saw your Shaheen Bagh office. Tell us more about it. So I've got an office. So I've got multiple offices for different businesses. One of my offices in New Delhi, and that is basically an outsourced part of my app and web development firm. So I've got an office in Chandigarh as well, actually. So you can actually apply for it, or feel free to have a visit. Banu, love this session. Thank you so much. Banu, love you, sir. Thank you so much. Banu, love you too. Shantanu, thank you so much. Last question by Mohammad Omer, and that's when I'll finish this session. But please let me know how you like this, and please follow me on all of the channels. I want to switch my job to get more exposure. Currently working power plant electrical engineering in Saudi Arabia. So identify where you want to switch your job. What is the profile that you like? Search that profile on LinkedIn and send connection invitation to all of those people. Don't ask for the job. Develop genuine connection with them. And ask them how did they sort of succeeded in their career, and create that connection for at least 3 months before you ask for help. Give them something first, and then later on, once you have developed a nice friendship with them, nice connection with them, that's when ask for the opportunity, and that's how you switch your job. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching this live session. So this was actually a precursor live session because I actually missed a lot of questions in my previous live session. So I sort of came here to answer them, but there were a lot of people who joined it and asked more questions. So thank you so much for all your love. Really appreciate that. Please let me know in comments how you find it. If I missed any question, please send to me in comments. I promise I'll go through each and every comment. I'll reply to it, respond to it, and I'll cover them in my next video. I'll see you live in the same platform, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time on Saturday next week. Thank you so much, and see you later. Bye-bye.